What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, Bernie's behind us and it's been a while since we've worked on the van with the road trip and uni and stuff. But we're working on it today and we've got some welding equipment that I'll show you in there. Yeah, we're gonna patch up a few holes in the floor, so let's go. So we need to get the insulation in on the floor and some framework, and that's just Jack's dog barking. So we've ordered a little cheap welder for like 80 quid off Amazon. Don't know if it's any good, the reviews are okay. We literally only need to patch a couple of holes up, so it'll probably do the job. And then we've got the mask there and some gloves. So Nero has actually done welding before, so we're gonna... Have you done welding before? Okay, well, so we've not... We'll stick welding?
Maybe, probably.
I don't know. Well, yeah, we're both of us are basically learning how to do this. We used to weld it, actually tiny, which is perfect for what we need in it, because it doesn't take up a lot of space. I just had my first go welding. I didn't film it because we were trying to like set it up and we didn't know whether we were doing it right. Here it is, and as you can see, it's awful. There's loads of holes. It's joined in a few places, but it's quite hot. It's quite strong, so it's not pretty, and we literally only need it to fill a few holes in the floor so rain doesn't come in. So I imagine it'll do the job.
Yeah.
So as you probably know, we have a hole in the wheel arch, and I've shown you it before. So it's just down here, and as you can see, I've just welded that small plate on to try and cover this hole here. The weld is absolutely terrible. First time I've welded ever, but you know, it'll probably hold. It doesn't have to be very strong. So now Jack's gonna weld this piece on to here. We're just trying to make it watertight so that no water comes up from the wheel, no mud or anything, and then we'll probably cover it with a load of filler to try and just make it airtight, and then it'll be covered with insulation, so it won't really matter too much. It's just we want to learn how to weld anyway, to be honest, don't we? That's kind of like one of the reasons for doing it. So Jack's gonna do that now anyway. So we finished the weld now, and it is awful, but it is our first time, and like it doesn't have to be pretty. We just give it a little tap, like it's not coming off. So we'll just spray a load of filler or maybe insulation foam around that just to keep it airtight and stop water and mud and stuff coming in, and then we'll get insulation on the floor, a bit of framing, and a base layer, so we can like walk on the floor. Right, so here's the hole in the back. Right here, it is tiny, and all these are for clips. So that's a clip, that's a clip, that's obviously a bolt, and then there's a little tiny one here. But because it's so small, I think we're just gonna fill it and fill that as well, because this is a bit uneven, so it'll be hard to actually kind of weld something onto this without there still being a gap there. So I think we're just going to fill both of these, and it'll make life easier. Right, so we've got some of this Gorilla filler, and it literally is just for filling gaps and things. So we're going to use that to just put around here and fill the gaps in, and also do the little hole over there. So hopefully it'll be watertight. As you can see here, we used the Gorilla filler might be able to see a little bit there for this little hole, and then we covered it with a bit of cardboard and some duct tape, so that should definitely keep the water out. And now I think the floor is ready to be insulated now, so we can get it framed, get some insulation on the floor, all of this stuff, because in the way, as you can see over there, the back on the chairs, there's loads. It's not focusing, I'll zoom in a bit. Yeah, there's loads, so we can't sit on the chairs, and we need it gone. So I think next we're gonna do the floor, but I think it'll be kept in this video because this video is quite short anyway, so you'll see the floor insulation in this video. So it's a new day now, and we're actually starting work on the frame of the floor and getting the insulation and the plywood down. So we've just been to B&Q and we've bought loads of wood. Now we actually have to try and squeeze it in the car. It should fit, it looks like there's plenty of room. So we're going to do that now, and then we'll see you back at the van.
Are you going?
So we're back at the van now, and over here you can see we've got everything ready to cut and put together, but we've got this mess in here, and it is a mess. Like, we've just got bits everywhere, tools everywhere. So we're gonna have to clean this up first, get everything out, and then get everything cut and put in, and then we can put all the back in here, and it'll be fine. Like, we just need it out so we can put everything in, and then it's fine. Look how clean it is. We literally have not seen it this clean since probably like when we bought it. It's so clean, it looks so much bigger and nicer. Like, it's just, yeah. But I mean, shame it'll be a mess once we finish, like, because all that's gonna have to go back in there. But for now, it actually does look quite nice. As you can see, the frame is basically done. There's a few little pieces that we have to put on the edge, but for any of you wondering, the wood that we're using is 1.5 by 1.5 inch. It's around that 38mm by 38mm R4C timber, and I know this is more of the type of wood you'd use for decorative pieces, like things that are on display, but it was also the cheapest wood and the closest to the thickness we needed, and it doesn't really have to withstand any structural stresses really. It's just being stood on, so this will do the job for what we need. So we've had to stop working for today because I don't know how well you can tell, but we've been rained out, so we can't put the frame together outside and cut the MDF and cut the insulation because there's just no room to do it inside, and it's so wet. So the wood's getting wet. We don't want it to get wet because then there'll be no way to dry it. We're gonna have to just stop for tonight, and we'll come back another day when hopefully it's not raining, and we'll get everything cut, and we'll get the insulation and the frame and the floor done. It's the next day now, and as you can see, it's not raining, but the weather isn't the best. We've got all this inside here, and also there's a lot of insulation being cut. Jack's been doing it during the afternoon whilst I've not been here, so that's a job that is nearly done. we're gonna get all this out, all the mess, and we're gonna finish putting the frame together, and then get the insulation in. We'll get the frame in, get it secured, get the insulation in. We'll get that secured with some adhesive, and then we'll start cutting the MDF ready to put on top once we've got all the foil layer put on. At the moment, I'm just putting a few finishing touches into the frame. Just a few pieces that come off the frame, just so there's not big gaps down the edges where the MDF would be taking a lot of weight on top of the insulation and just squashing that insulation down. So up the whole side, that side, and up the whole side, this side, we're just going to be putting these little slats in. And then here, you might realise that this will have insulation exposed, and so will this here. But what we're actually going to do is, because this is a step, it's like a little lip, we're going to have a little bit of plywood along the entire thing, just to have it, make it nice and neat, and we can paint it. But that won't be done today because we have no thin plywood at the moment, but it will be done at some point. I've decided to cut this video short because I'm in the middle of editing it, and it's already 12 minutes long, and we haven't even finished all of the installation anyway. So this video is just going to be the welding and the framing, as you'll know from the title. So with that, remember, keep exploring.